Mayor, you may begin.
You're on.
This case is as big as yours. We're good, Jennifer?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, thanks, Jennifer. This is, just for the record, the annual organization meeting for Monday, December 5, 2016. Meeting will come to order. We'll start with the Pledge of Allegiance and a prayer by Mayor Kinnett. I pledge of allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. As we gather for the annual organization meeting, we are reminded of how thankful we are for living in a place like Dobbs Ferry. And we are incredibly grateful also to be living in such a great country with freedoms and the ability to live our lives and make choices. And for all the men and women and families of the armed forces for their commitment, especially remembering those who have made the ultimate sacrifice so that we can be free and safe in a place like Dobbs Ferry. As local leaders, we pray for guidance and strength and wisdom to be a shining example of how government can work best, to encourage and promote everyone in our beautiful and diverse community to work together as one team to get things done and help make the village a better place to live for everyone. As in the natural cycles of elections, seasons, and in life itself, we pray to all come together to embrace change and welcome new ideas and members and residents whose time it is to give back to their community. Help us all grow and do the best job we can. We are all truly lucky and grateful and thankful for all we have. Now let's pay this back and work together to make Dobbs Ferry a better place. Amen. Well, good evening, everybody, and welcome to Village Hall, and welcome to the annual organization meeting. This is always a great night. It's a different night than any other night that we have. This is a fun night. This is a night when we smile a lot, and we really celebrate, new members who are joining the board. We reappoint able officials, and we reaffirm what it is that we do in such a positive way here. And so, just a quick outline. I'm going to be coming down here to the mic on a few of the next items. There will be some oath of offices that I'll be giving to re-elected trustees, as well as to a new member that we're welcoming tonight. I'll be making some appointments. Some of these are statutory appointments that require a motion and a vote of the board to approve. So I'll sort of be pointing those out as we go along. And those will include a number of appointments to various boards beyond the statutory boards that review sort of redevelopment things. There are some appointments that I'll also be making to the ad hoc committees. Those chairs and members of those committees serve at the pleasure of the mayor, so they don't require a motion, but I will point them out. It's a lot of people who do a lot of great things for the village, and it's nice to be able to recognize them in an evening like tonight. And then we just have a lot of other sort of administrative things that we'll go through pretty quickly, reaffirming the official newspapers of record and things of that nature that get pretty dry. And then I just want to finish up with some closing statements at the end. And so let's get on with the program tonight. When we end the meeting tonight, we're going to have a couple of things on the agenda tonight that we normally wouldn't have, that we're just going to do some items because we only meet once in December. And then following the organization meeting, we are going to break for a quick executive session, which is something that the board members will do on some personnel and legal matters. Okay, so let me start with administering the oath of office to re-elected trustees, and I'm going to come down here to do that now. It's really, I know. I get really nervous when this is test. Okay. Thank you. I'm really proud to be swearing in the next few people here, and I want to start with those trustees who have been re-elected, and we're going to start with Donna Cassell. Trustee Cassell, could you join me? Donna, if you could raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear to support the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the State of New York, and to carry out the duties of village trustee of the Village of Dobbs Ferry to the best of your ability? I will. Congratulations and thank you. She's a wonderful trustee, and I just love working with her. I've learned a lot from her. We've grown together, and I'm just so happy to be serving with you again.
Thank you.
So I know you've got some family members here and friends. You want to say a few things?
Sure, okay. Thank you, Mayor. First of all, I want to thank the Mayor, my fellow board members, past and present, who have been inspiration for me, who have supported me and encouraged me. The village staff, who does a tremendous job every single day, of our department heads, our DPW, the police department, the EMS people, the fire department. I mean, the village is very, very lucky to have so many very dedicated people who work so tirelessly for our village. I also want to thank tonight, the Mayor will be naming a lot of people to a lot of committees, and I've been on the board for 6 years now, and I know for a fact that this village could not operate without the help of our volunteers. Our staff does a terrific job, but they're pretty bare bones, as most of the departments in the village. And it's all made up by our fabulous, wonderful, wonderful volunteers, and I want to thank them and let them know how much we appreciate them. Lastly, I want to thank Annette for her support for the past 6 years, and for not killing me when I told her that I wanted to run for a 4th term. So thank you very much. And I pledge to continue to serve the village to the best of my ability, and to always operate and work in what I believe is the best interest of our residents. Thank you.
Okay, I'm going to now ask Larry Taylor to come down. Larry, could you raise your right hand, please? Do you solemnly swear to support the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the State of New York, and to carry out the duties of village trustee of the Village of Dobbs Ferry to the best of your ability?
I will.
Congratulations and welcome aboard, Larry. I've known Larry for a long time. I actually appointed him to serve out the term of trustee O'Donnell, and I couldn't be happier that Larry has made it all the way through the rounds and the process, and is going to be up here serving his 5th term. He's going to be a great trustee. And Larry, welcome aboard, and say a few words if you like.
Thank you, Harley. I just want to say first thank you to everyone who gave me their confidence and their vote in the recent election. And I want to echo some of what Donna said. This is a village that runs on volunteers, and everybody in this room puts time and effort in to help the village, as do so many others, many of whom are being appointed or reappointed tonight. So it's been a pleasure to serve with this board. I look forward to serving for all of you over the next 2 years. Thank you.
going to welcome and swear in our newest member, so I'm going to ask Nicole Sullivan to come up now. Nicole, could you raise your right hand? Do you solemnly swear to support the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the State of New York, and to carry out the duties of village trustee of the Village of Dobbs Ferry to the best of your abilities?
I do.
Congratulations and welcome. These meetings, it's a new beginning, and to get new faces and new people on board is also part of the process. And great. And Nicole, we're so happy. We want to welcome you aboard. We look forward to working with you going forward. And your ideas. I know your beautiful family is here front row and center, so please point them out to us and say a few words.
Sure. Thank you, Mayor. I just want to also say thank you to everybody who supported me through this process and encouraged me to do it. I'm looking forward to serving our village, and I appreciate the vote of confidence and support from the electorate. And I do have my husband, Mark, with me, my children, Brendan, Megan, and Riley. Their support is always necessary in this process because this does involve a lot of time away from home. And it's important for them to have an understanding of what I'm doing too and why it's important to serve your community. So I'm glad they're here with me, and I'm thankful for their support.
And Nicole, we're going to ask you to come up and join us on the dais here in your new spot. How's it feel?
No judge.
Okay, I'm going to ask Liz Draper, village clerk, to come down now for, I'm following the right order here?
Dick.
Oh, I'll go back up there and then we,
You could do it
huh?
from there.
Yeah, okay. Well, we're going to follow right along here. I felt really bad this weekend at the tree lighting that I did not point out my good friend Dick Goldie and his beautiful daughter Gracie, his other beautiful daughter Olivia was there too. We were sort of all coming and going. I was trying to think what to say next and get through the process and thinking about hoping those lights were all going to go on. But I'm not going to forget about him tonight. It is my honor to reappoint Dick Goldie as Deputy Mayor of the Village of Dobbs Ferry. There's nobody who is more deserving of it. There's nobody who's more qualified. Dick and I started together 7 years ago. We've been together ever since. I'm not sure how much longer we're going to stay in this. We don't know yet. But I wouldn't be doing this without Dick. And he's been a great trustee, always prepared, always has incredible perspective. He's really calm and looks at all the issues. He's a Dobbs Ferry guy. Generations of his family have grown up in Dobbs Ferry, and I'm so proud to be appointing you as the deputy mayor of the Village of Dobbs Ferry. You deserve it. You earn it. And because of Vic, our board has functioned better. We'll continue to function great, and Dobbs Ferry is a better place. Congratulations, Vic. Okay, Liz, can I ask you to come down now? Raise your right hand, Liz. Liz, do you solemnly swear to support the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the State of New York, and to carry out the duties of village clerk of the Village of Dobbs Ferry to the best of your ability?
Yes, I do.
Congratulations and welcome. Helps out residents so much, communicates to the village, is a tremendous help to the board, to the mayor, to everybody. She's a wonderful person, and you just can't say enough about how much Liz does. And Liz, we're so happy and we're so lucky to have you as village clerk and all you do. Thanks very much.
Thank you, everyone. I'd just like to thank the mayor and the board for this opportunity, and thank my staff and my residents for their support through the years. And I only wish that my parents were both here to know what I've been up to for the past 13 years, because they'd be so proud of me. And I can't thank them.
Jeff, can I ask you to join next? Raise your right hand. Jeff, do you solemnly swear to support the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the State of New York, and to carry out the duties of village treasurer of the Village of Dobbs Ferry to the best of your ability?
I will.
Great, welcome back. Thanks for the great job being with us. You've been here for a couple of cycles now, and it goes without saying, you know, the budget process, how it's worked, how open it is, and we've got some pretty strong results that we've been reporting over the years, and it's something that's getting even better, and we thank you for all the work that you did and do, and anything else you'd like to add, please?
Just thank you and the board for this opportunity.
Short and sweet. That's it, right?
You can do it.
Who else like to swear? Oh, that's what you do. Before we appoint?
We have a point first.
Yeah. I've come back up here because I need a motion to do the next one, right? And this will be a motion to reappoint Darius Shaffazade as attorney for the village for a term of 1 year. Is there a motion? Trustee Dolio, second. Trustee Cassell, discussion, all in favor? That passes with 6 ayes. I need to come down and, now we gotta go through the other thing down here. So let's do that, and then this is a little bit awkward, but this is how we're gonna do it. Darius, raise your right hand, please. Do you solemnly swear to support the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the State of New York, and to carry out the duties of the village administrator of the Village of Dobbs Ferry to the best of your ability?
Village attorney, yes.
Village attorney.
The village attorney of the Village of Dobbs Ferry to the best of your ability.
I will.
Thank you. And that's an example of how good job Jeremy does. Corrects us when we make our mistakes, and well, I couldn't be happier. You know, this is a tough job, and he can be a target as much as I can be a target on things, and it's unfortunate sometimes. But Darius does a tremendous job as village attorney. He's served this village not just for the past 7 years, but for almost 17 years in the capacity, working with other people. He knows this community well. He loves this community, and all he ever does is to look, you know, cover our back and to make sure that we're making the right decisions here on behalf of all the residents. And obviously, he gets a tremendous amount of support for that. So good to have you back and on board, and we couldn't do this without you.
Thank you, Mayor. Thanks.
Sorry for the running up and down, but it's just the way it's working. Okay, so I'm going to go down here. We're going to have a list of a few other people that we're going to reappoint to various positions within the village, and I am going to ask for a motion on these, and we will take a vote, which we formally need to do. So the first will be to reappoint Robert Harwood as the acting village justice for a term of 1 year. Is there a motion to reappoint Mr. Harwood? Trustee Cassell, second. Trustee Taylor, discussion, all in favor? And that passes with 6 ayes. Robert's been doing this for a long time. He does a great job. We want to thank Mr. Harwood for all he does as acting village justice. Next is to reappoint Bonnie Fisher as the village vehicle and traffic prosecutor for a term of 1 year. Is there a motion to reappoint Bonnie? Trustee Rosillo, second. Trustee Corrales, discussion, all in favor? And that passes with 6 ayes. That's a tough job that Bonnie has, but it's an important one, and she does a really, really great job in that capacity. Okay. That passed with 6 ayes, those two, right? And 1 abstention? Okay. And I think that'll be the cycle going down. Next one is to reappoint Dr. Richard Borkow as the village historian for a term of 1 year. Is there a motion to reappoint Richard Borkow? Trustee Rosillo, second. Trustee Corrales. Discussion, all in favor? And that'll pass with 6 ayes and 1 abstention. Mr. Borkow does an incredible job, along with his wife, and supports him as village historian, as members of the Dobbs Ferry Historical Society. He comes before our board on numerous occasions during the year to remind us of historical events. He played a very, very big role in the renovation of the Little White Church Cemetery project, which was such a great project, and some of the new memorials that are there, recognizing Dobbs Ferry's history in this country, and particularly going back to the Revolutionary War. And he just does so much to keep the history of Dobbs Ferry alive, and we so appreciate what he does. And it's great to have him continue to go forward as the village historian. Thank you, Richard. Next is to reappoint Bob McLaughlin as the Greenberg liaison for a term of 1 year. Is there a motion to reappoint Bob? Trustee Cassell, second. Trustee Taylor. Discussion, all in favor? And that passes with 6 ayes and 1 abstention. Next is to reappoint Don Mera as the ZDBG representative for a term of 1 year. Is there a motion to reappoint Don in this capacity? Trustee Golio, second. Trustee Cassell, discussion, all in favor? And that passes with 6 ayes, 1 abstention. Next is to reappoint Don Mera as the Children's Village representative for a term of 1 year. Is there a motion to reappoint Don? Trustee Cassell, second. Trustee Taylor, discussion, all in favor? And that passes with 6 ayes. Don still keeps very, very busy. Great former mayor of the village of Dobbs Ferry. He's a great man, and he still gives back to the village in many ways, and we thank Don for still being involved as the CDBG representative and the representative of Children's Village as well. Next is to appoint to the Architectural and Historical Review Board. In this case, we're going to be asking to motion to reappoint, I'm going to ask for a motion to reappoint Michael Patina as chairman for a term of 3 years. Is there a motion to reappoint Michael Patino as chairman to the AHRB? Trustee Taylor, yes. Second. Trustee Cassell, discussion? All in favor? That passes with 6 ayes. Michael's done a great job. He served as chairman, stepped up when Mr. Fred Larson, who did a great job as the former chairman, stepped down and really filled in great and has done a great job ever since. Obviously, as most of you know, things have been pretty busy on the redevelopment front in Dobbs Ferry, and the AHRB we rely on tremendously to make sure these buildings at the end of the day are done properly and look beautiful, and they do a great job with that, and we thank Michael and all the members of the AHRB for all they do. Next is to a motion to reappoint Jean Mickelson as a regular member of the Conservation Advisory Board, and this will be for a term of 3-year term. Is there a motion to reappoint Jean Mickelson to the CAB? Trustee Cassell, second. Trustee Corrales, discussion, all in favor? And that passes with 6 ayes. Jean does a great job. The CAB does a great job, and she's really committed. And
She knows so much.
Yeah. Thanks, Jean. Next is to a motion to appoint to the Ethics Board. This will be for 5-year terms to reappoint Mr. Alan Harris as chairman and to reappoint Steve Trezza and Eric Tershwell as regular members, each also for a term of 5 years. Is there a motion to make these reappointments? Trustee Golio, second. Trustee Rosillo, discussion, all in favor? And that passes with 6 ayes. Thank you, Alan and Steve and Eric, for serving on the Ethics Board. Next is a motion to reappoint to the Housing Board of Appeals. This will be for 2-year terms, reappointing Bradley Bulkey and Steve Gifford as regular members, each for a term of 2 years. Is there a motion to make these reappointments? Trustee Golio, second. Trustee Taylor, discussion, all in favor? Passes with 6 ayes and 1 abstention. To the Nominating Committee, a motion to reappoint Bob McLaughlin, chairman, and Ellen Crane. This will be as regular members: Ellen Crane, A.J. Dobbs, Rishi Gupta, and Marie Kanakarush. Kanakarash, yes, Nancy Keene, Emma Lou Lewis, Miriam Mazeral, Paula McCarthy, Bill Singleton, Adam Spielberger, Patty Steinschneider, Heather Stefanik, and Dale Unterman as regular members, and this would each be for a term of 1 year to the nominating committee. Is there a motion to reappoint? Trustee Golio, second. Trustee Taylor, discussion, all in favor? And that passes with 6 ayes, 1 abstention. To Parks and Recreation, this will be for a term of 5 years to reappoint Steve Gifford as chairman and Mark Legerio as a regular member, each for a term of 5 years. Is there a motion to reappoint to the Recreation Commission? Trustee Corrales. Second, Trustee Golio, discussion, all in favor? Passes with 6 ayes. Parks and Recreation Committee does a great job. They're going to be really busy in the coming year and coming years. We have really some more good stuff to talk about a little bit later on in the evening on the Parks and Recreation front, but these are great people doing a great thing, and we have a lot of exciting things that are going to be going on in the Recreation Department and Parks, and it's going to be a good time. To the Traffic Committee, to reappoint for terms of 1 year, reappointing Gary Anacarico as chairman, and regular members Robert Barron, Bradley Bulkey, Brian Mitchell. God, we got a lot of people interested in traffic around here, don't we?
I wonder why.
This is a big group. Larry Murphy, Frank Farrington, Ann Zink, Rick Guevara, Police Department Liaison, Trustee Donna Cassell, Public Safety Committee of the Board of Trustees, ex officio, Betsy Gilardi, Chief of Police, ex officio, Jerry McIlvain, Fire Chief, ex officio, each for a term of 1 year. Is there a motion to reappoint? You're on there,
Oh, I
so you
can't do
probably
that.
can't.
Oh, okay.
But is there a motion to reappoint? Trustee Taylor, second, Trustee Golio, discussion,
vote.
all in favor? Passes with 5 ayes.
Okay.
So thanks to the Traffic Committee for all you do. To the Tree Commission, to reappoint for 1 year term, Erna Kapitanopoulos as a regular member for a term of 1 year. Is there a motion to reappoint Erna? Trustee Corrales, second. Trustee Taylor, discussion, all in favor? That passes with 6 ayes. I wasn't going to go there a second time. But, to the Youth Service Council for a 3-year term, a motion to reappoint Mr. John Cox as a regular member for a term of 3 years. Is there a motion to reappoint John? Trustee Rosillo, discussion, all in favor? Passes with 6 ayes. Thanks,
You
John.
didn't get a second.
Oh, second, sorry. Trustee Golio, discussion, all in favor? Great, passes with 6 ayes, and thank you to John, and Vinnie, we got a nice Youth Service Council group. A lot of people have gotten involved over the years. You've been a really big part of that. Thanks for your work that you do as
It's my
liaison.
pleasure. They're meeting across the hall right now, as a matter of fact.
Yeah, they're busy, okay.
Yeah, I think it is Joe's.
I think it's Joe.
I don't think it's John, I think it's Joe's.
Oh, is that Joe Cox?
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, okay, let's, for the record, just do that again. I'm sorry, it's not, yeah, it is Joe. We want to make it for the record that we'll be reappointing Joe Cox as a regular member for a term of 3 years to the Youth Service Council. And finally, to the Zoning Board of Appeals, or ZBA as we sometimes refer to it. Regular members, 3-year term, and alternates serve for 1 year. So this is a motion to reappoint Jeremy Gutman, John Maas, and Paul Monty as regular members, each for a term of 3 years, and Joseph Capasso as first alternate member for a term of 1 year. Is there a motion? Trustee Rosillo, discussion. Second, Trustee Cassell, discussion. All in favor? And that passes with 6 ayes and 1 abstention. So those are your statutory boards, and we thank each and every chair of those boards and all the members. They put in a lot of time and regularly meet and really do an important job on things that touch all elements of our community. For the ad hoc village committees, we just want to recognize, I do as mayor, these are mayoral appointments serving at the pleasure of the mayor. They don't require a motion, but we do like to recognize formally the folks that are involved. To start, in the beautification committee, Merle Hubner is chair, Robin Allen, Diane Falk, Mary Gerber, Susan Klossick, Mary Vecchione, Susan Weissenberg, and Betsy Westrell as regular members, each for a term of 1 year. Beautification Committee does an incredible job really making our town more beautiful, and they put a lot of time into it for really every season, And it's those little things that really make a big, big difference in your community, and Beautification Committee is doing one of those things. So we really thank them and the women for all the work that they do. To the Budget Committee, we want to recognize Bob McLaughlin as chairman, Bruce Catania, David Oakes, Paul Stern, and James Stone as regular members, each for a term of 1 year. These folks have been doing a great, great job for a number of years, being another set of eyes to the budget process. They have been really, really helpful. Not every community or mayor or board wants to embrace a budget committee, but we do. And it works well. We don't always agree, and we get but we get differences of opinions and things to think about, and we really, really appreciate that work. And I think the proof is in the pudding and demonstrates how effective this budget committee has been and how effectively we've worked with them. And this was a budget committee that was actually formed before I was mayor. It's worked out great, and as taxpayers, we've done very, very well by the budget committee, and they're going to continue to do a good work. The Energy Task Force, we want to recognize Nina Orville as chair, Denise Wooden as secretary, Kathy Bodenhausen, Robert Barron, Anila Cherian, Kathy Dean, Susan DeGeorge, Ron DeRusso, and Patty Steinschneider, all as regular members, each for a term of 1 year. We talk a lot about the Energy Task Force, a great group of people. They're as busy as anybody. A lot of initiatives that we followed through with their direction and help that are saving village taxpayers literally over the long, millions of dollars literally over the long term. We're a more sustainable community because of them. We're a more energy efficient community because of the task force. We've been recognized that as an energy smart community. We've earned, the village has earned the highest awards from NYSERDA and the New York State for our work in this area, and it couldn't be done without the Energy Task Force. So thank you to all of them. The Ferry Festa Committee. I'll be appointing Patty Steinschneider, Maggie Segrich, who is president of the Dobbs Ferry Chamber of Commerce, and Dennis O'Brien, proprietary owner of a very active business here in the village, as regular members, each for a term of 1 year. We expect to add to this committee along the way. The Ferry Festival is an amazing event. It's gotten really large, and it's great to have an active chamber now that's going to be more involved in helping to make some ideas and suggestions going forward as to how we can make Ferry Festa even better and a more festive event. So thank you for them in terms of what they're already doing, but to help us on the Ferry Festa planning and some ideas as we go forward. Senior Advocacy Committee, Abby Kinnett, Chair, Perrette Rieslin as co-chair, Sid Udane, Kathy Kay, Tony Losi, Molly Rodriguez, and Roz Navarro as regular members, each for a term of 1 year. Abby's here tonight, my beautiful, wonderful wife, who, what an incredible job. She should be mayor, not me, but Abby does an amazing job, as everybody knows, with the seniors and the help that she gets down there, and just what she does to improve, and this committee does to improve the lives of seniors in this village is amazing. Again, been very, very challenging the last couple of weeks and months with the issue at the Embassy Club, but we've had some things to announce about that recently that is good news in the right direction. We'll have more in the coming weeks, but even with the issues there, they're still more than just surviving and being as active as ever. So thanks, Abby, and the rest of the staff down there. Great job you do. The Wildlife Committee, Robin Azzolini, Bob Bordonsky, Susan Whitney as regular members, each for a term of 1 year. They deal with a lot of things behind the scenes people don't know about. I mean, the deer was the one thing, but we don't like going towards the deer now. We kind of steer clear a little bit of that issue, but there are a lot of wildlife with the feral cats and raccoons and stuff, and information that they put out that we need to be aware of, things that are going on in the community. And the deer tend to still be the focal point of why other things are happening, but they've really done a great job with that. So we thank them for that. So those are the appointments there, just to recognize the ad hoc committee work that's being done and the people that are behind it. They do a great job, every one of them. I did just want to talk a little about the trustee liaison assignments. I won't go through it, but each of the trustees has been given their assignments for the coming session in terms of boards that they will liaison, either to statutory boards or review boards or the other boards that we just talked about. And this is extra work that each and every one of the trustees will be involved in along the way. All these boards are really important. Again, all these boards touch all different aspects of the community, be it everything from the ambulance corps down to the zoning board of appeals and everything that falls in between. The review committees for redevelopment projects and building, the energy task force, on and on and on, the library, the planning board, the police department. Again, all the things that we touch each and every day in our lives in the village. And I want to thank each and all the trustees who, are up here in the first place, but also doing extra work to serve as liaisons to these committees. It's really great work that they do. And then we all have our assignments, so we're gonna get to work right away. Okay, just moving on, a couple of administrative items here. This gets a little bit mundane and dry, but nevertheless, we still need to do it. I'm going to announce that the official depositors of the Village of Dobbs Ferry will be J.P. Morgan Chase, Tompkins, Mahopac Bank, and Wells Fargo. Obviously, we get a lot of input from the village treasurer and the village administrator on these types of decisions, and essentially looking to work with the best financial institutions that we can from a standpoint of credit rating as well as the services that they provide. We've expanded the number of banks that the village does its business with over the years to diversify the risks and to get the services that we need. And Jeff's been a big part of making those recommendations. Mayor Kinnett will continue to the investment and procurement policies as recommended by the state of New York and as previously adopted by the Village Board of Trustees. So what this is that we have very strict rules and regulations and policies about how monies of the village can be invested and where they can reside. And of course, all of these are really dictated by state law. We don't make these things up. So we are sure to be able to, that we conform to the state of New York and all the standard practices that we need to make sure that we're being very, very careful and safe with the village's assets and the village's money. The official newspaper I will announce will continue to be the Rivertown's Enterprise. The alternate official newspaper, when the Rivertown Enterprise does not publish, will be the Journal News. I also announced that village information will also be available on the internet at www.dobbsferry.com and via Cablevision Channel 75 and Verizon Channel 46, depending upon which service you have. And we've done a lot of work, and people continue to do a lot of work to upgrade the dobbsferry.com website. It still has a ways to go to get better. It can continue to get better, but we've got people that are working on it, and I think it's certainly as good as it's ever been, but we'll continue to get better. And we really do work very, very hard to communicate as much as we can in as many different ways as we can. And you're never perfect, but we do, I think, a really good job of communicating. Never before has so much information been communicated through many different means, whether it's the website, the TV channels that we have, the live broadcasting that we're doing, the replays that we're doing, the mayor's newsletter. There's so much that goes out, and we continue to try to improve that. But I think we do a pretty good job, and we thank everybody who helps to support that. We'll announce that the official records of the Board of Trustees will continue to be the minutes of the Board of Trustees, and we do that each time we meet in our regular meetings to adopt the minutes and make sure they are accurate. And we rely on Liz Draper so much. She does a great job to prepare the minutes for us to review. Those minutes, of course, are available for anybody that chooses to see them. The official radio station will be WFAS 103.9 FM. And just sort of how the meetings will, the rotation of the meetings, no changes there. The mayor will set the regular meetings of the Board of Trustees on the second and fourth Tuesdays of each month at 6:30 p.m. So we're going to continue on the same schedule that we always have, with the exception of July, August, and December, which will have one meeting per month on a date to be scheduled 1 month prior to the meeting. So obviously those are the summer months. Some of us are away, so we cut it down to one meeting per month. And we'll pick a day. We try to find a Tuesday, second or fourth, that really fits in with as many people's schedule as possible. And we do announce that ahead of time. The date for the December 2016 meeting is December 13th, so we will have one meeting in December. That'll be on the 13th. Meetings for the April budget hearing and budget adoption and any additional budget-related public hearings, public meetings, will be scheduled at a future date, and we give those out plenty of time ahead of time so that everybody is aware of when we hold those public hearings. I'll also announce that the current procedures for the guidelines for the Board of Trustees, agenda, and meetings will remain in effect. You know, there's all different kinds of ways you can run meetings, but I think we've been running our meetings very, very efficiently for the past 7 years, and we'll continue with the same, really the same way that we do that. We'll give an outline of the meeting ahead of time. There will always be a segment for persons to be heard, and you will need to be recognized by the chair. And when you are, come to the microphone, state your name and address for the record, because we need to do that. And try to keep your minutes to 3 minutes. Try to keep your comments to 3 minutes. That's sort of generally how we've been running. At the chair's discretion, if there is something on the agenda in matters requiring action that is of particular importance, you know, everything we do is important, of course, but by particular importance, you know, larger redevelopment projects or any issue that might have a particular impact on a particular neighborhood, the chair will then recognize that and take comments when we get to that item, and just for that item. So that'll be announced at the meeting. But generally what we're trying to do is just find the right balance between getting the business of the village done, but making absolutely certain that the public is heard and everybody has an opportunity for input and to give their ideas, to share their opinions. And we do that. But we don't want to get bogged down in sort of endless discussion and discourse, which can happen. And so we find the right balance. We've been very active, very busy. We've gotten a lot of things done. And we expect to get a lot of things done over the course of the coming year. But everybody will have an opportunity for input and to be involved in the process. And we've always been very, very well prepared. And I expect that this board will continue, and there'll be no question about that. We run our meetings efficiently and productively, and that's how we'll continue to do it. So that's how the procedures will work. And I think that is pretty much it. We're going to have a couple of items here that we're going to get to here, but in relation to the organization meeting, I just want to sort of give a kind of a little bit of a closing statement from the mayor. First of all, I want to welcome everybody's here tonight. I want to first welcome Nicole Sullivan, new trustee. Nicole, we're so happy to have you on board. You know, it's great to get a new person here and to get new ideas and new opinions about things. And so we welcome you. We look forward to working with you. And you know, your family has already left here, but I guess they're going to get used to the Tuesday. And I told Nicole that, you know, the coolest thing that happens right away is that the police officer comes to your door, knocks on the door, and delivers that packet. And I'm sure your kids got a.
They were very excited.
Yeah, they're very excited about that, and that'll happen so that's pretty cool. But welcome aboard.
Thank you.
It's nice to have you. I want to thank everybody who came out tonight, and obviously you're out here to support what we're doing here, and really, really thank you for that. You know, tonight basically is obviously different than any other night that we have when we're here. It's always a great night, and it's a night when we really do recognize residents and officials and volunteers who really get involved in a really positive way and to make the village better. And we've confirmed and welcomed new members tonight to the board. We've reaffirmed our awesome responsibility as elected officials to represent all the residents of Dobbs Ferry, and that's really important. We've appointed officials who ably guide and help us to make sound decisions, and that's without exception. Darius, great job you do as village attorney. As I said, we couldn't do our job without you and the advice that you give. Jeff, village treasurer, unbelievable. Great job that you're doing, village clerk. We didn't have to appoint Charlene tonight as village administrator, and you're on board. You're here for as long as you're here. But you know, she's such a big part of what we do, and she's filled into this role so well and so great. And we've had a couple of crises and issues already, and we're going to have a few more along the way. She's really handled them very, very well, and she's really going to be a steady hand. All the members of the board up here and the time that they put in, it's just amazing. You know, we do all of this in a open and fully transparent process. We are always trying to communicate as best we can. We work really hard at that, allowing everyone an opportunity for input and sharing of ideas. That's not going to change. To respect all reasonable opinions and thoughts, especially views of the minority. We've done that. We haven't agreed on all decisions we've made up here, but we've listened to everybody. We've learned from everybody, and we've taken that input. And every decision we've made has always been better because of of the opinions of the minority, and we don't ever forget that. So we respect that. We discourage special agendas, hateful or bullying discourse, or personal attacks on anyone in our community. Unfortunately, that goes on. It happens, and there are people that just do that. But instead, we want to encourage thoughtful and respectful discourse and sticking to the issues. These are the principles that we embrace in our role in government, that we embrace here, and are the foundations for a strong community, and that's what our community is about. And we are so lucky that so many people in our village get involved in such a positive way, and we want to encourage that. This organization meeting also represents a chance to recommit to that which is good and right and working, but it's also a new beginning to explore new ideas which could make things better. We've done that tonight. We have new blood. We have new ideas up here already. Part of my prayer talked about growing and getting better, and we want to do that. We always strive to get better and do things better. None of us are perfect, my God. As mayor, I certainly get a lot of input as to how I'm doing. I get a lot. And I really do take the constructive ideas to heart. I've learned from my fellow trustees, I've learned from residents who really provide good input, all of whom I really respect and listen to. Of course, I also hear from my family, especially Abby, and who's always right, of course, right, always right. And my daughter, oh my God, my daughter's always right. But I can tell you, there isn't a day that I don't wake up and I don't think about being a better mayor. And what can I do to be better? I really work really hard at this job. And I promise that I will continue to put everything I can into it, to lead the board in a nonpartisan way, to be fair and open-minded, making sure we are representing all the residents and getting everyone to work together and find consensus to make decisions that make Dobbs Ferry the best it can be. At last year's meeting, one of the things I wanted to work on was to smile more. My wife and daughter tell me I've made some improvement in that, but I still have some work to do on that. So I'm going to work on that, but I'm really, really looking forward to this next session and to this next year. We have a great board. We have a new mix of people, and I think this is going to be a great board. We're going to get a lot of things done. We've got a couple of initiatives coming up that I think historical districts is going to be a really neat thing that we're going to be tackling over the next couple of years. We've got a big issue that we'll be taking up in terms of considering changes to the village code, and it's going to be a process involved in that, and everybody will be involved in that. I don't think there's going to be much redevelopment stuff going on, because we've already done that, I think. I don't know what's left, but anything else that does come up, obviously we'll take that as seriously as we have all the others in input. So really some exciting things that we have to look forward to, and a great group of people up here that are really diverse, that have different ideas on things. So I'm really looking forward to working with the board, and thank you all for coming out and everything that you all do in such a positive way. I do want to make one final word about volunteers and getting involved. Every chance we get, we encourage people to get involved, to volunteer their time, if and when you can. The village can always use the extra help. So we say that again tonight. I promise you that if you get involved in a positive way and you really think about how you can do that, it's going to make you feel better about yourself, it's going to make you feel better about your community, and it's going to make you feel better about the world around you. I promise you. So look to get involved. We're always looking for the help. And thanks to all the people tonight that we recognize and appointed. And we've got a good session ahead of us. So that's the end. I'm going to bring this, well, no, I'm not going to bring this to official. That's the end of the organizational part. Bear with us for just a couple of things, because we got a few important things since we're only meeting once this month. And the next thing is a really big deal. And I have to come down and make I'm going to do this down here at the microphone, because that's where I need to do these next few things, right? Yeah. I take a motion, don't I?
Take a motion.
Yes.
Can I do that from here?
Sure.
Sure.
Okay, so I'm going to do it from here, a little bit different, but I'm going to take a motion to consider appointment of Ms. Kendra Garrison as Recreation Superintendent for the Village of Dobbs Ferry. This will be subject to civil service rules and regulations for an annual salary of $98,000 effective January 9, 2017. Is there a motion? Trustee Corrales, second trustee Golio, discussion, all in favor? And that passes with 6 ayes. And what a great moment this is. Kendra is here tonight, and we're going to give a little bit of background here, but let me do what we need to do just sort of formally. We need to swear you in. So could I ask you to come up and join me up here? Kendra, will you raise your right hand? Kendra, do you solemnly swear to support the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the State of New York, and to carry out the duties of Recreation Superintendent of the Village of Dobbs Ferry to the best of your ability? Congratulations and welcome aboard.
Congratulations.
Well, this is, I guess you came to stay up, but this is a really big deal. We're so happy to have Kendra aboard as our recreation superintendent. This has been a pretty long search, and a lot of people were interviewed, and Kendra just stood out to have the opportunity as the absolute best person for Dobbs Ferry. She's incredibly talented. A lot of you may know she's worked in Hastings and started her career there and did an incredible job. And we're just so happy to have you here in Dobbs Ferry. This is going to be a great job for you because there's so much upside.
Don't scare her.
We've got, and Kendra's well aware. She's well aware of the challenges we have, but the opportunity, and that's really what this is about. And there's no better person, we think, that's going to be able to take this opportunity and grow this program and with new facilities that are in development and be part of that process. She's perfect for this job. And Kendra, welcome aboard. And if you could just maybe, if you'd like to say a few words to the community, please.
Good evening, everybody. I just want to thank everybody for the opportunity, and I'm really excited to work with the community, so thank you.
Mayor, I just also wanted to say that I'm really glad that you're coming on board, Kendra, and I know you're not starting for another month, but we're really, really, really excited to have you. And I also really want to thank the village administrator and Bob McLaughlin and members of the Recreation Commission and Abby Cunnett and others who participated in this process, because we're very glad that you agreed to come on board. We know that you have a wonderful position in Hastings, and you've done a lot for the village of Hastings. They, in your time there, had a new pool, a new recreation center, a great summer program, all sorts of wonderful programs, and we're really looking forward to you bringing your knowledge here. So thank you very much.
Okay, great, really great. We were also going to, I think what I need to do tonight for Mike Domenici is, since he's not here, he wasn't able to make it tonight, can we swear him in?
He's working. Well,
Right, I know, can we have him sworn in and then we can do, but
no, you can motion to reappoint him,
Right.
and then I'll swear him in and administer the oath of my
administratively you
office.
can do that. So I think we'll do that. So I came back up here, but we do want to get this done tonight, and that is to consider a motion to promote Recreation Leader Michael Domenici to the position of Senior Recreation Leader for the Village of Dobbs Ferry, subject to civil service rules and regulations, at an annual salary of $47,273.16, effective December 12, 2016. Is there a motion to appoint Michael to this new position? Trustee Corrales, definitely. Second, Trustee Cassell, discussion. All in favor? Great, and that passes with 6 ayes. Mike is not here tonight. We want to congratulate him. He really negotiated hard for that 16 cents, let me tell you. He's done a great job, and I know Michael is so happy, Kendra, that you're on board too, that he's going to get an opportunity to learn from what you've done, and that's going to make him better. And this is a great place for him and a great opportunity. I know he's really looking forward to it. So he's feeling great about where things are headed. And administratively, Liz, you'll do the swearing in for him officially, and we want to thank Mike. As Charlene said, he's actually busy working tonight, so he's already has a basketball program that he's busy at. So congratulations to Mike Domenici, and a great opportunity for him, and this is great news for the Village's Recreation Department all around. Okay, two more items here, real quickly, is to consider a motion to authorize the village administrator to sign an agreement with McCarthy Finger LLP as part of a consortium with the villages of Ardsley, Irvington, and Tarrytown for cable television franchise renewal negotiations. Charlene, the idea here is to basically, pool together with the other villages that are also having franchise agreements or renewals with these cable companies, and to basically get a better deal.
Exactly. And I think there's one other that's going to join, so that even makes it cheaper.
So at the end of the day, we're going to save money in terms of doing it this way. We're spreading the costs out. I mean, these people aren't cheap, we're sure, but it'll spread the costs out. We budgeted this.
Yeah, it'll spread the cost out, and also it will make sure that we have a most favored nation clause, because we'll all be at the table together. So I think that it does a lot of good for all of the villages.
Great, okay. So any questions or concerns from the board at this? Then I'll take a motion to authorize the village administrator to sign the agreement with McCarthy Finger LLP as part of a consortium with the villages of Ardsley, Irvington, and Tarrytown for cable television franchise renewable negotiations as outlined and recommended by the village administrator. Is there a motion? Giving you an opportunity here. Yes, trustee Sullivan. Second. Trustee Taylor, discussion, all in favor? Awesome, our first 7-aye vote. No, I listen, Nicole's done her homework on some things here already, and understand her position on being new, and that's fine. But I want to get her involved here right away. Thanks, Nicole, and thanks, Charlene. I know that we'll get a better deal out of that because of this, so that was really good work. And finally, is to consider a motion to adopt a policy for voucher payments under $2,000. Basically what this is we really run a tight ship here. It's amazingly tight. No dollars literally go out the door that haven't been approved in some fashion or form by the board, basically. And that includes the little things that go out. But at the same time, we don't want to get, so that has to be done, and that's done each month, actually. We don't sit down every single day and micromanage the process. That would be silly. We have professionals here that do that. But at the end of each month, we do have to take an audit, and a number of trustees have to sit down with the village treasurer or his designate and go through and review all the expenditures, ask questions, and basically sign off on that. And we do that every single month. But what we don't want to happen is, for any reason, we have to delay that process a week or two because of scheduling, that little bills don't get paid. And we've had some vendors that kind of get caught up in that process a little bit. So what we're simply doing here tonight is just setting an amount that can be paid, that, if we haven't had that meeting and reviewed that meeting every single month or had that opportunity, vendors can still get paid on a 30-day basis, and we just want that process to work. It doesn't put a lot of pressure on Jeff to get phone calls from people, and so it takes some pressure off the treasurer so he can really focus on what he needs to, but we get our bills paid, and we don't get avoid getting, they're slow in paying or anything like that.
Absolutely, and in fact, the board and the members of the board would go over the costs, will okay it, but it won't be the full board. It'll wait till the end of the month for the full board to okay it, and it will but it will be looked at. I guess my point is it will be looked at by board members. So, and that is in accordance with state law.
Great. Any questions or concerns on this? Okay, then I'll take a motion to adopt the policy for voucher payments as outlined by the village administrator and as recommended by the village treasurer and the village administrator as well. Is there a motion? Trustee Russillo, second. Trustee Corrales, discussion. All in favor? That passes with 7 ayes. Great. Thanks, everybody. Thanks, Charlene. Thank you, everybody, for coming tonight. Great meeting. We'll look forward to seeing you all around. Some of us will be here on the 13th, our next meeting, but those of us that won't be here, I want to wish everybody a very happy, very healthy, and safe holiday season. Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah. We'll be doing the candle lighting in a couple of weeks on the 28th. We had a great tree lighting. Thank you to Santa who came in. We had a huge turnout. That was so great. Great things going on in the village, and thank you all for being so positively involved. There being no further business, the organization meeting is adjourned, and I will take a motion to adjourn to executive session. So I need to do that. Is there a motion to adjourn to executive session? Trustee Taylor, second. Trustee Corrales, discussion. All in favor? Okay. Meeting's adjourned. We'll see you around.